So, have you ever seen someone flashing an Argentinian passport on YouTube? People flash all sorts of passports. I'm not talking about those Caribbean ones or Turkey or none of that CBI stuff, right? I'm talking about, let's say, a Mexico or a Serbia. You see people you see people get these citizenships, but you hardly see anyone talk about their naturalization in Argentina or flashing an Argentinian passport. Sadly, a lot of people say that they give you citizenship in 2 years. No, Argentina never gives you citizenship in just 2 years using the normal routes, right? The residency needs to be for 2 years, and then it's not an immigration procedure. It's really a court procedure. Court proceedings happen once you are eligible after those 2 years. So just to get the residency, there's some time frame. The beauty about the Argentinian residency is that this can be obtained immediately, right? The temporary residency can be obtained immediately. Why this is beautiful is because they issue you with an interim temporary residency card. So you don't have to wait for those 3 or 4 months to get the temporary residency in hand. You immediately leave with your initial temporary residency proof, and that's good for all that you need to do. Your residency officially starts, and then obviously after a few months you get the final temporary residency. The beauty of Argentina is that the permanent or temporary, all those things don't matter unless you really are looking for a job in Argentina, which 90% of my viewers aren't going to be looking for a job in Argentina instantly, right? The whole objective is to obtain the residency. And there are several categories that I have spoken about how you can acquire the Argentinian residency almost immediately. If you've missed that video, you can always hop on and check the video that appears above. And that covers all the categories, including a category for financial investment, right? Investor category. So that's an option as well, although that's slightly tricky. So you can watch that video to get the full specifics. But residency is the easiest part. Now, when it comes to citizenship, you file a court case, start your application, and the hearing can be after a year, after 2 years. So it really depends upon the court system. There's no defined immigration procedure at the immigration office like Mexico, right? Mexico is a completely different beast. With Mexico, you can actually obtain the residency card in a single day. The way we do it is completely legal. We have our attorney at the office. There's certain things that you can streamline to expedite, do things correctly. And you pick the right embassies or consulates abroad, right? In Mexico, when you go to the immigration offices, you want to know which office you're visiting. So this can be obtained in a day. A lot of my clients want this option because they get the car and then they can leave, right? They don't have to spend all their money in hotels and uncertainty, rather just get the car in a day and leave. And then there are other clients who actually love Mexico and want to spend at least a couple of weeks, right? So they don't want a 1 day trip. They want a 2 or 3 week long trip. So rather than trying to get your residency card or struggling with it at the end of your trip, waiting in anxiety and trying to enjoy something that you're not really into because you're waiting your residency card, it's always best to get your reward on the very same day, right? The next day you land, you have your residency card, and then you set off with your family, enjoying the beauty of Mexico. And that's what most of my clients do. If you're interested in learning about the 1 day procedure, and if you haven't checked out my video, you can take a look at the video here. This is about the residency card process. And at any point you want to get started with this process for yourself or for your family, you can always click the link, book a call, and get started. Now let's get back to Argentina. The issue with the citizenship is that after 2.5 years or whatever, it could happen earlier. Again, it all depends upon the court system, the volumes, and how much time, when your case comes up for adjudication. But at that time, there's going to be a comprehensive assessment of your situation, of your connections to the country. Obviously, you got to live in Argentina, right? At least 6 months plus in the first year, second year. The judge is going to decide if that's going to be substantial enough presence in Argentina. Again, other connections, other ties, having a wife or a child from Argentina definitely helps create that connection. So there are a lot of things that the judge is going to take into account before he or she decides that you're going to get the Argentinian citizenship, or it's not the right time for you to get the Argentinian citizenship. Just dropping a baby in Argentina doesn't mean that they're going to sit and hand you the passport on day one. No, that's when you right? When you apply for your benefit at the court system, they might take 2 years, they might take 3 years. They might decide that the connections aren't solid enough, so you might wait for additional time in Argentina. So to keep things real and to keep things in perspective, Residency happens pretty fast. If you're interested in that fast residency, the immediate residency, then we do have one of our best attorneys in Argentina. But if you're thinking that in 2 years you're going to walk out with an Argentinian passport, that is not happening. So don't get fooled by some of the marketing stuff over the internet. Make sure that you have a real sense of this process. And as I said, regarding any of the programs, some people like Europe, they don't like Latin America, so we have options in Europe. There's a great EU option of flexible residency still. That is one of the best in EU that can get you the EU citizenship. And there's also a non-EU European citizenship under the radar option. There's a very interesting citizenship by exception process, which is far less competitive than some of the other ones in the EU. Like Austria is one extreme, it's really the most expensive. And then you have at least one option, which is the least expensive in Europe. All right, I hope you like this video, and I keep sharing updates regarding residency processes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then take a moment and subscribe. Also turn on the bell notification so instantly when there's any update or any new analysis, then you get notified and you don't miss out on any important changes that happen. All right, now give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and catch you in the next one.